people. I know. We usually say y'all know what time it is, but of course you don't. It's Saturday. It's AA Sports. J Sports, no chaser. The super team of sports talk here. Don't matter what time of the day, what day of the week it is. We still here for y'all. I'm one half of the super team, Diego Barishnikov, the Black Dominican Russian. Here with my main man, my partner in crime, the 6 foot and under post-up champ, as y'all know him. Tell them who you are.
What's good, good people? It's your boy, Uncle Hate. We are broadcasting on a Saturday because we did not get a show in this week, and we got to bring our picks, and we got to get y'all some sports talk. What's good with you?
Absolutely. We appreciate y'all joining us always on the Spreaker platform. Appreciate y'all listening there. Don't forget, tap that heart, tap that star, give us some love there. Also, those of y'all watching us on YouTube, we definitely appreciate that as always. Remember, you know the routine and the drill there. Watch, like, hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends. We appreciate that. And as always, you know, you can catch us on any social media platform. That's Facebook, Twitter, IG, at AA Sportscast. So, yeah, sometimes, you know, real jobs, you have to call it, it's a call of duty there. So that's why we went on the air this week. But it's all good. Like you said, we couldn't leave y'all hanging. So here we are on a Saturday to get in some picks. Also to touch on a couple topics that have dropped today and this week. So here we are to pop it off. So where you want to start off, my man?
The Los Angeles Rams are 3-0.
Oh, yeah. They
3-0.
are.
Who saw that coming?
A lot of people other than myself, of course. Of course, you know who I had. I actually thought we actually had a chance to win this particular game here. Coming into the game, the Rams had not been playing very well against the run because they are getting used to and adapting to a new defense. They switched to the 34 defense this year. So they've been struggling against the run the first couple of games. And out of all the things that we have been doing wrong, our first 2 games, running the ball was one of the things that we had been successful at. So I figured that would help us along the way, especially then being at home and then having the Rams come off of a short week with the almost rookie quarterback, second-year guy. You know, and we usually beat them the last couple of years. So, you know, I figured all that. A little bit of luck, a couple things go right. I figured we could pull the game out. Didn't happen, 41-39. Came a little short. It was a very entertaining game, more entertaining than I thought it would be for a Thursday game.
Right.
You know, I heard a lot of other people say that. I'm not really one for too many more victories, but I will say, you know, I like what I saw to a certain degree. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to clean up, a lot of mistakes still being made. But I will say this, every time I thought that they were getting ready to fold, that being the 49ers, you know, we fought back, you know, and stayed in the game. So I can say I'm at least proud of them at that. You know, it's brick by brick. It's a building process. So I guess if you want to look at it, put a positive spin on it, you can in that regard. But shout out to the Rams, man. Jared Goff, you look like an NFL quarterback now, son. Todd Gurley is able to run the ball, not look at 8-9 in the box. So I know they looking at that as a good thing.
Hey, I didn't see this coming. Now, technically, if Andrew Luck would have played week 1 and been healthy, they probably would have lost that game because that would have been a better offense.
Right.
Washington, they seemed like they did everything they could to lose the game last week. And then they played a real game this past Thursday. I tell you what, Sean McVay, what he's done with Jared Goff, can't heap enough praise on that because he looked like he was dead in the water last year. You got Todd Gurley. They basically brought in Buffalo starting wide receivers from last year this year. Right. Sammy Watkins looked good even though he got his bell rung. They got some pieces to build with. If that defense can continue, they got a shot to get somewhere. I didn't see 3-0 coming, but in your team's case, it's house money. Y'all got all that free agent money coming up. You got good draft picks. Everything's house money. You're playing with effort. You're moving forward. I know we don't believe in moral victories, but like you said, it's brick by brick. So
I think our defense will look a lot better once Reuben Foster get back on the field.
Yes, playmaker.
Because, you know, a lot of those times we couldn't get off of the field on third down. Some of that stuff that was coming up underneath, that would have been him, and he's got the speed to take care of a lot of those plays and get us off the field. As much as I love him, he's been with the team a long time. Navarro Bowman looks washed.
Yeah, Gurley shook him off on that screen pass late in the game. It's like, right. Get off me.
And it's like, he knows where to be. And a lot of times he's in the right spot, but he's just not physically able to make some of the plays that, we're accustomed to him making before a lot of the injuries. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
One last note on this. Carlos Hyde gave you some points in our fantasy matchup this week. I didn't need that last touchdown.
Hey, I had to get it how I could get it, because in one league, one of the leagues that we in together, one of our big money leagues, I was playing against Gurley.
Oh, okay.
So, I was taking it in the rear on that side, and then I was giving it. Let me stop that whole analogy.
Yeah, but I'm with you though. All right, good people. We're gonna find out Tuesday who came out on top of this, because I got like a 24-point hole right now from one player. So
that's nothing.
I'm waiting on the Le'Veon Bell explosion. Hopefully it comes at some point. Hopefully.
Yeah, I'm waiting on that myself in the league as well. So you're right.
So we'll see where that goes. All right, let's run picks for week 3. I'm gonna start with mine. I'm one pick up already because I did take the Los Angeles Rams in that game. Sunday, people, don't forget there's an early morning game on Sunday. Baltimore is going across the pond playing Jacksonville. I'm taking Baltimore. Taking Atlanta. I struggle with this pick here. I'm taking the damn Colts and Jacoby Brissett against Cleveland. I didn't know which way to go with that. Denver, New England, Miami, Carolina, the Philly Eagles, the Steelers, Tampa Bay over Minnesota, Seattle over Tennessee, Green Bay over Cincinnati, Kansas City over the Chargers, who took another season-ending injury already in the season. I swear that team is snake-bitten. I'm taking the Raiders over the Redskins, and I'm taking Dallas over the Cardinals. I should have took that as an upset, but I'm going to keep it square this moment because I jumped off the cliff last week. So I got to play it square this week.
Okay.
What you got for us?
So, I think I caught every game. Did you take the couple of ones I missed? I know you said Ravens, Broncos, Steelers, right?
Yeah, let me run them down one more time. I know I was moving fast.
Run them down one more time.
All right, I'm taking the Baltimore Ravens over the Jaguars, Atlanta over Detroit, Indianapolis over Cleveland, Denver over Buffalo, New England over the Houston Texans, Miami over the Jets, Carolina over the Saints. The Giants, they're losing to the Eagles. So the Eagles over the Giants, Steelers over the Bears, Tampa Bay over Minnesota, Seattle over Tennessee, Green Bay over Cincy, Kansas City over the Chargers, Oakland over the Redskins, and I'm taking Dallas over Arizona.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So, of course, everybody knows, like we just said, I picked the 49ers on Thursday game. So you already, one up on me. Now, overall, well, I guess we can do that in a second.
Yeah.
The overall record. But I got everything pretty much the same except for a couple of games.
What you got?
I got the Saints coming into Carolina.
That's disrespectful.
And pulling off a W.
That's disrespectful.
I think even though Carolina is 2-0, and I know it doesn't matter how you get a win or how ugly it may be, a win is a win. But
that's a shaky ass 2-0.
Yeah, you're 2-0. But for me, you haven't looked too great on offense as of yet.
At all.
Losing Greg Olsen doesn't help. Even though I think Ed Dixon is going to be able to come in there and be serviceable, he's not Olsen.
His hands are ass.
Well, yeah. But you still got a solid defense. I just for whatever reason, I'm thinking the Saints going to be able to come in there and get their first win, and maybe looking for a shootout there. The other games that I had, other couple games I had differently. I actually had the Colts as well. I was kind of on the fence on that with myself. Part of me actually wants to take the Browns, but I think the Colts at home. That's why I'm giving them a little bit of an edge there. Brissett, I didn't see the game, but look
last week.
The numbers, it like he did all right. So
yeah.
Against Cleveland, maybe they can get a W. I know T.Y. Hilton has guaranteed it. So.
Oh wow, I ain't hear that.
So yeah, he said they will be winning their first game this week.
Say word.
Outside of that, everything else I pretty much got the same as well. Ravens, Broncos, Steelers. I think the Falcons going to go up to Detroit and win a close game. I don't think the Lions have saw a combination. I was going to say a defense like Atlanta was going to be able to give, but the Giants have a decent defense. They don't have anything on offense.
Yeah.
So I think the will of attrition is going to be, can Detroit's defense play like they've been playing these first 2 weeks against Atlanta's offense? That is where I think Atlanta is going to separate themselves.
Right.
Now, not having Vic Beasley, who is out for the foreseeable future with is it a hamstring? Yeah, hamstring injury.
Yeah.
That's going to hurt. So Tack McKinley, the rookie from, I think it's UCLA.
UCLA.
They're looking for him to step up. He's not Vic Beasley as of yet, but, he'll be able to do some things rushing-wise, rushing the quarterback. And outside of that, I got the Bucks, Patriots, Dolphins, Eagles, Seahawks, Packers, Chiefs, Raiders, and the Cowboys as well.
Boy, tell me what type of panic is going to be in New York when they go 0-3.
Well, if they waiting to panic, they can go ahead and start now, because I'm pretty sure they're going to go 0-3. I don't see them fixing the problems that they have on offense within a week. But it's the NFL. They will have Odell back for another week, with another week under his belt, so he's going to go full blast this week. He was limited snap count last week.
You know what? They ain't going to win this week. We took them different. Tampa Bay going to beat them week 4. Their best chance to get their first win will be week 5 against the Chargers, and they can lose that game.
So they can lose that game. Chargers got some weapons.
So I'm trying to find the game. They play Denver the week after that. Bro, they can really be in some trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. They play Seattle the week after. Oh my God.
Now that game right there is going to be garbage. If both these seasons, if both of them don't step up between now and then, because Seattle O-line is garbage. The Giants got a garbage O-line, and both of them got solid defenses. So
that could be like 3-0. And you know it's gonna get prime time. It's gonna get prime time.
But we kind of go through this with the Giants every year. It seemed like every year they start slow. It seemed like, and then they work their way to 8-8, 9-7 or so. And if they don't pull off a wild card or a division win, they kind of get right there back in the hunt. So
if they lose 5, if they go 0-5, 0-6, this will be, like you said, they normally find a way to go 8-8, but I ain't never seen it that bad.
Yeah, this will be a deep hole. Out of all those games you just named, even though I'm picking Philly, this will be, I guess, the best chance out of all of those games for them to win.
Yeah, well, unless Jameis throws them the ball a lot next week, which Jameis can possibly do, I'd be hard-pressed to take them in any of them games going forward. I'd be hard-pressed.
They're gonna have to show me something. They're gonna have to show me something this week.
Let me ask you this. We're gonna get off this topic in a second. Because if they bottom out, they ain't got no choice but to take a quarterback if they're at the top of the draft. They ain't got no choice.
I've been seeing that kind of talk online all week. Will they trade or will they cut Eli? I don't see that happening.
Nah, they just paid him a couple years ago.
Right. Eli will be a Giant until Eli is no longer ready to be a Giant. So that I'm not worried about. But he can start getting eased on out that door a little quicker if they go ahead and drop. If they draft a quarterback in this upcoming draft very high. Because the way that it's looking right now, we're gonna have some pretty good quarterback prospects. You got Darnold out there. Even though after looking at him over the last couple of weeks, he's got some things he need to clean up.
A lot.
He's going to be right there. Josh Rosen's out there. Baker Mayfield, is he a junior or senior? I think he can come out.
This is last year.
And then it's what's the other guy? Rudolph.
Yeah.
We hear a lot about him from Mississippi State, which, by the way, go Dogs. We got a big game tonight. So you got quarterbacks coming out this year. So it's gonna be some choices that'll be made.
We gonna see.
Gonna be some choices that'll be made because another team that's got to think about their next quarterback, Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
No, they drafted Josh Dobbs, didn't they? Yeah, they drafted Dobbs, the boy from Tennessee last year. So they drafted theirs already.
I tell you what, I know I'm over this every summer, being pulling this Brett Favre shit. I don't know if I'm gonna play.
Man, well, it's really just been 1 year.
Last 2. He's talking that last year too.
Oh,
it was more detailed this summer.
Okay.
He wasn't returning calls. He was off the grid for a while.
Right. Okay. I probably lost sight of it because I didn't really take it serious. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see where they go with it.
What you this Viking situation? I'm not feeling so great about what I'm feeling and hearing about Sam Bradford's knee.
I think I should have caught a mulligan off that game last week since he didn't start, but I digress.
I think I tweeted you. It was like, normally I did. I tweeted just said normally I would give you a mulligan, but fuck it. Hey man, you go with Sam Bradford, you gotta pay the consequences.
That's the surgically repaired knee.
Yeah, twice surgically repaired.
Right. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Teddy's on the pup list. Sam, they said they sitting him another week. If he's back there and can't move, he's basically a sitting duck. He'll get hurt again anyway. Right,
and for it to be for the pain or whatever, the injury to happen non-contact, and for it to swell up on him the way he said it did after the next day or whatever, and now he is going to get a second opinion from Dr. James Andrews.
That's a wrap.
That don't make me feel good. You normally, if you go see Dr. Andrews,
it's bad news.
You finna go to the IR very soon.
It's very rare he come back with a positive outlook outside of next year.
Right.
We gonna see with that. I mean, it's just they look so good. I can't say they look that good because they're playing New Orleans' defense, but they did what they were supposed to do against a bad defense. You got to give them 21 to 24 points. Hell, I was in that game pretty much up until the end when they played Pittsburgh. They have that solid of a defense.
Right.
But if they don't have quarterback play, it don't matter. Dalvin Cook ran the ball something serious last week for him. But if you ain't got no quarterback to scare them on the outside, they're going to put people in the box. It's just what it is.
Yeah, true. I mean, I can't say it no better than that. You're absolutely 100% correct. Anything else stand out to you over the games last week?
Yeah, let me see.
I know I'm trying to think of like kind of the main headlines that were out there.
We should talk about this. We should talk about Denver, Dallas.
Okay.
I watched that entire game. If you take away Zeke, that changes that entire offense.
Oh, yeah.
That entire offense. The boy's been averaging, I want to say, 100 yards a game pretty much since his rookie year. And it's a big difference when you don't have 4 to 5 yards on first down, and then you looking at only 2nd and 4 or 2nd and 3. It's a big difference. I can't put that entire game on Dak because he was playing Denver secondary. But it's a different offense without Zeke.
Right, and the thing about that is Dallas, you mentioned the rushing yards and what Zeke has done on the ground since he's got there. Denver shut that shit down.
Shut it down.
I mean, I remember, checking on fantasy scores at one point, and I want to say I was playing in the league somebody that had Zeke. I'm like, Zeke got 8 yards.
You were.
What the hell's going on? But part of that was due to the little weather delay that they had. So I was like, okay, they got a delay. So came back, and he still only had like 20-something yards, if that.
Yeah. I think he finished around 20 yards.
Yeah.
And
it was a long day.
It was a long day. Let me ask you this. Is Dez getting exposed this year?
I was just going to bring that up. Yes, he can't he's not getting separation no more.
At all. Now, I remember he had one foot injury, right?
I do remember the one.
So I want to say he broke his foot.
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I know that. Didn't he hurt his knee last year? It seemed like they're starting to pile up because he's damn near tight end at this point because he's going to have to out physical you. He ain't going to get away from you. They fed him the ball 16 times last week. He only caught 7 of them. And that one pass in the fourth quarter that he had his hands on, it popped in the air. Yeah, they intercepted it. That pretty much was the nail in the coffin right there. But I want to say I put it on the IG page during the summer because people was questioning, is he a top 5, top 10 wide receiver? And I was like, yeah. But it's like he's getting exposed every week now.
Yeah, he's definitely not top 5 anymore. He may be hovering around 10.
Yeah.
You know, he may be hovering around somewhere toward the bottom of that. But, yeah, I mean, if you look at him, the only time Dez is able to get any separation is at maybe the top of some of these routes where he's fighting the receiver off.
Right.
He's not outrunning nobody.
Nobody.
You know, so that, you know, that's a problem. Terrence Williams is a speed guy. He take the top off the defense guy. And you know that's hit or miss.
Right.
So yeah, it's gonna call for Dak to evolve a little more in the passing game. Cole Beasley, it seems like Cole Beasley is not produced. They're not going to him as much as they used to, because he could be an extension of. He could have been an extension of that run game that was lacking.
Right.
With those little, you know, Dick and Duck, you know, Julian Edelman, Wes Welker type passes. So I think they probably will have to lean on that a little bit.
Is it crazy to think to move Dez more, have him run more slot routes?
Get him in the slots to maybe free him up a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that's possible, but is Jason Garrett smart enough to do it? Well, calling plays? Yeah.
I believe he is.
Yeah.
I believe he is.
You know, is he smart enough to, to change things up? You know, you sit there, going back to the Rams 49ers games, I had no idea that Sean McVay sitting on the sideline doing defensive calls on the cooler, looking at the iPad, doing all that, is not even really paying attention to the game, making sure that he's got his play calls and stuff in order for the next thing. Now, he may have to do some of that excessively because he's got a younger quarterback. So Garrett may need to, start looking at that, or maybe like a Ben McAdoo, maybe you need to hand them play calling duties off to somebody else so you can focus on things like time management and, being a head coach. But if Zeke is taken off this field when this hearing comes October 2nd, because you saw the update on that.
I saw that today, yeah.
So he's guaranteed at least 2 more weeks. After that, they're going to have a hearing, and then, if they deny that injunction or whatever it is, and he got to be pulled off the field, that's going to hurt.
Jerry ain't going to let that ride. I don't even see that coming. Okay, speaking of Zeke, what do you think? He quit on that play?
He absolutely quit on that play.
Well, I guess you could say the last 2 interceptions he quit on, because he didn't attempt to chase down Talib. They said on that second one either.
Yeah, that the one that was just very glaring is the one that, he's within 7-8 yards or so, and he just put his hands on his hips and started walking toward the sideline.
Chris, I'm trying to think. What's that corner's last name for the Denver?
Chris Harrison.
Chris Harrison. He was right there.
Yeah.
He was right there. Yeah. And just fuck it,
He had the corner had a little bit of a head start on him or whatever, but Zeke he's a track athlete.
Right.
there's no excuse for that.
No excuse for that.
There's no excuse for that. At least fake it. At least jog half-ass, like you're trying to get to the plate. But
you think it played any different in the locker room? Who gonna step to him? Who's the vet in that locker room besides Witten?
I would say Jason Witten. That's about it.
Dez, if he'd have went to him, it might have turned into a fight. So it need to be Witten saying something.
Dez ain't gonna go to nobody because that's some shit Dez would have pulled early in his career. Very true.
Very true. All right, what else stuck out to me this past week? You mentioned that we were doing the picks this past go around. Seattle's offensive line is really bad. It's really, really bad.
I
want to say we talked about this week, the first week. Lil Russell ain't got the heart to go in there and scream at them like, "Get me some damn help." He just gonna pull the Andrew Luck and go in front of the media and blame himself. Yep. Like throw and block for himself at the same time.
We're gonna go in there and fall on the sword.
Basically.
I thought we was gonna get trashed that game, but watching the game, I'm like, okay, we in this game, we got a shot. And then Goodwin, dropped a key second down pass right when we were in the red zone. That if he converts that, if he doesn't score, he's at least gonna give us 1st and goal at about the 5. And that could have changed that. That didn't happen. We get a ball back, and then for whatever reason on that last drive that they end up scoring their first touchdown on, we just refused to set the edge and get containment on Russell Wilson, and he gassed us for 12, 13 yards. I want to say 3 or 4 occasions on that one drive, and that's how we end up losing the game. But they cannot bank on that going forward. No. It's got to be more than that. Now, Chris Carson did look pretty decent running the ball for them. I'm not sure if he's going to have to share carries this week because they say Thomas Rawls was just coming back off injury last week, so they kind of slow played him. So I think they're going to try to probably give him more carries this week.
He looked good, though. Eddie Lacy was a healthy scratch that damn game. How you pay him like that? Give him basically, what, $250,000 over the summer for making weight, and then healthy scratching him week 2.
Yeah. No, I don't have any answers for that. That's crazy.
All right, we can jump off of that. I got a good question for you. This is a real good one. It piggybacks off something you hit me with last week, but I had to add one to it. All right, you the general manager of your team, and you got to make a decision on the quarterback.
Okay.
You got these 3 to pick from.
Hell.
Taylor, Andy Dalton, Blake Bortles.
Damn, dog, you ain't really giving me nothing to work with, is you?
I feel bad because I thought Tyrod was solid, man. Tyrod hit that good.
Tyrod, Andy Dalton, and Blake Bortles. People, do y'all hear what he's leaving me with to choose from? Oh, man.
That's not a lot to work with. And these cats got real money contracts, too.
Hey, man, if you had put a gun to my head and made me choose, I go with Tyrod. Just for the fact that he's a little more on the conservative side as far as turning the ball over. I don't think he's going to turn it over as much as Blake and Andy will. He's going to give you an added dimension with his legs.
Right.
And I think, if he was not in Buffalo, he had a little more talent to work with, a little bit better of a team. He's just basically just him and Shady there, from what I understand.
That's it.
So, but those aren't 3 good choices either way.
Hey, Buffalo, your wide receivers from last year, they balling in L.A. Just, y'all gave them away for next to nothing, but I digress.
What is Tyrod going to do next year?
He's done. He just need to practice holding the clipboard and learning the scout team. Well, let me ask you this. Put him on Jacksonville with a running game, with defense, and actually some weapons on the outside.
I mean, you're gonna run spread. You're gonna run spread offense. He'll be better than Blake.
That's what I'm saying. He'll be better than Blake. Yeah. You're gonna lean on the running game. He shouldn't be throwing the ball no more than 25 times anyway. You shouldn't have to. But just imagine a read option with him and Fournette.
Right. That could work. And then with I think they defense is young and pretty good. So maybe they can win 5 or 6 games with Tyrod.
Give or take. I think that's about it from this past week. Cam Newton looks like shit, people.
Okay.
I'm saying it as a Carolina Panthers fan. I hope it works out. This is the most flimsy 2-0 that you can ever have. I'm happy to have it, but we should have lost that game last week to Buffalo. We should have lost that game.
Hey, it don't. At the end of the season, come November, December, nobody's gonna ask. Well, the second win, how was it? Yeah.
Right. I mean, we were losing them games last year, so I'm happy to have them this year. I mean, the defense is looking pretty good right now. So
yeah. Now we can't do our recap of last week without touching on how Atlanta beat the shit out of Green Bay.
Forgot about that. Yes, I got to take it on the chin with that one because I thought Green Bay was gonna come in there and shock the world. They didn't.
I thought it would be a closer game.
That shit was over with the first half, pretty much.
Yeah, it was a done deal. Man, Atlanta looked good.
They got their number at this point. That's 3 times in a row.
Yeah, and you know what it reminded me of? Remember, when we were at our peak, 2011, 2012 or so, I think we beat Green Bay between playoffs and regular season about 3 or 4 straight times.
Yeah, I used to own them.
It kind of feel the same thing with Atlanta and Green Bay right now. So, when you start looking at who's going to come out of the NFC, Green Bay, for right now, they can't beat Atlanta. They finally beat Seattle regular season.
Yeah.
So think for NFC teams, and it's only week 3, but you better start, cashing in now. If you got to come to Atlanta to try to get to the Super Bowl,
no bueno.
Hey, good luck to you.
Yeah. Hey, and them damn TV screens in that stadium are the shit.
Yeah, the Halo video board.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I like I like the that one end of the stadium that's got the glass.
Oh.
Floor to ceiling glass, and you can see the city skyline through there. I like that. That's pretty dope.
They did a damn good job on that stadium, and like you said, if you got to go there and get to the Super Bowl with that team, hollering and all that noise and
that pass rush, the pass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all need them in cleats, people. You don't need them running you with Jordans on. You need to be in cleats because they fast on that turf.
Yeah.
They fast.
Yeah. Come January, if they got to go to Green Bay or go somewhere cold, not saying that they couldn't win, but, it's a lot different running on turf and Jordans, like you said, running on cleats on ice.
There you go.
That negates speed all day.
There you go.
That's gonna be the thing, but man, Atlanta look good right now. Now they lost. I think we touched on it earlier. They lost Beasley.
Yeah.
He got a hamstring tear. He's gonna be out. I think 4 to 6 weeks, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to maintain in that regard, but I think they're gonna be fine. I think they're gonna be fine.
Let's tie up this past week. I'm trying to pull up my Power 5 so we can tie that up and touch these last few stories and move on.
Okay. I remember you tweeted it out.
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling up now. All right, where is my Power 5?
Okay. Why you
Yeah, go ahead. You got yours? Oh, I got it.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I got Kansas City at 1, Atlanta at 2. I'm sorry?
Do you have yours from the week before?
I'm basing mine off this entire season. Are you talking about the week before?
Right. Because I saw yours. The one thing I wanted to ask you, are you doing a new, are you reshuffling every week and redoing
every
it?
Week.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah. So off of week 1, I had Green Bay, Kansas City, Dallas, Oakland, and Minnesota. I felt like those were the most impressive wins the first week. Mm-hmm. Now I reshuffled for week 2. I got Kansas City at 1. Atlanta comes in at 2. Denver at 3. Oakland at 4. And Detroit at 5. They didn't, like you said, you hit me on Twitter with that. You said you would have felt better about Detroit being in there if they would actually had to play some offenses that was worth something. I counted the defenses because they were named defenses and they got it done and they remained at 2-0. But, Carson Palmer, he looks finished. And the Giants' offensive line can't stop no damn body. So, I can see how that could go, but I don't think we're going to have that discussion next week because they're going to lose to Atlanta this week.
Eric Flowers is trash, man.
He is trash. Trash.
I mean, how is he married? Probably not. He young.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, how can you go home to your wife or your girl and you didn't play like shit? You can't even talk shit in the house or do nothing. She's like, as soon as you say something, she's like, why don't you block them like that? Why don't you say that?
Why didn't you block them like that? How about you backpedal your ass out this room?
Right.
He's trash, man.
Oh, man.
All right, what you got for yours?
All right, so the previous week I had, in this order, Green Bay, Atlanta, Kansas City, Oakland, New England. So coming in this week, I don't think I basically took Green Bay, moved them to 5, moved them to the back since they got their ass whooped, moved everybody up 1. So I got Atlanta, KC, Oakland, New England, and then Green Bay rounding up my top 5, again, all mostly AFC teams.
But
AFC
you put more emphasis,
like the stronger conference.
But so you put more emphasis on New England even off a loss compared to Denver winning 2 impressive games.
Well, New England won last week.
That's what I'm saying. They lost week 1, and you kept them in the Power 5, and you moved them in at 1-1. But you had them.
Because I'm not reshuffling mine every week.
Gotcha.
So I'm basically saying, okay, where were you at last week? What did you do? And then that's going to determine how far I move you up or back.
Gotcha.
I had them coming into the season at 1.
Yeah.
After they lost to Kansas City, I moved them to 5.
That makes sense.
So they came back with a nice win. They beat the shit out of New Orleans, but I couldn't bump them up past 4 because everybody in front of them whooped ass too.
Gotcha.
So
makes sense.
There you have it. Now, yeah, and then a couple French teams I got. Detroit's coming in there right around that 6 or 7 mark. Denver, You know, those teams, they right there pushing to that, to that five. That that AFC West is going to be a monster.
It really is looking that way.
You know, the way it's shaping out, we're probably going to see, barring injury or some crazy shit, probably 3 teams from that division in the playoffs.
I saw somebody say that before the season. And I was like, shit. It kind of looks legit now.
I mean, because you look at the AFC East, you don't expect anybody outside of New England.
No.
The AFC North is
Baltimore and Pittsburgh undefeated right now.
So that could take a spot there because Ravens are playing good right now. The South division winner, and that's it.
Yeah.
And so so I can see, it's going to be Ravens, Steelers, Broncos, Kansas City, Oakland. That 5 going for them 2 wild card spots.
What you think about Trevor Siemian?
I think he looked good. I think him, like Jared Goff, showed some improvement. He looks like he can man that position and hold fort. So don't look like they're gonna have to be worried about going to Paxton Lynch or anybody else anytime soon.
Nah, but I think we talked about it during our offseason previews. At the end of the day, a young quarterback needs a running game. If they can run the ball the way they've been running the first 2 weeks, then you ain't gonna have all them folks in the box. And them 2 wide receivers can work on the outside. And when in doubt, you got a championship level defense.
No fly zone, baby.
Legit.
The only thing that scares me about that is C.J. Anderson. We know he's
healthy because he's on my fantasy team.
Hey, he run good early and then he get hurt.
He looked a little lighter this year. You got to admit.
Yeah.
Like he finally lost some damn weight. He looked like a little bowling ball last year.
Right. You're right. So that's gonna help.
All right, let's give a big shout out to Jim Caldwell for getting an extension today from the Detroit Lions.
Okay. 2-0 will get you an extension. I ain't mad at the brother.
They were talking about it hard on Monday night, saying, "Hey, they're winning. He's a lame duck coach. He still ain't better than Green Bay."
It's gonna be funny to see if week 7 or 8, if Detroit is still on this upward climb, or have they came back down to being Detroit.
They got to get a running game, man. You got to get some type of running game.
Abdullah didn't excite me, but he didn't, to me, look bad.
I don't have faith in 175-pound running backs. I just don't. I
mean, that's true, but I think he can get them 70, 75 yards a game, 40 or 50 receiving.
I guess that's a running. I mean, I like Riddick, Theo Riddick as their passing guy. I just you gotta have something that's gonna scare the defense, and I just don't think Abdullah scares nobody. To get that tough 4 or 5 you may need. Yeah,
that's true. I think he's like maybe just able to do just enough to keep that extra defender out of the box.
Yeah, 75 yards ain't bad. I mean, it don't suck. That's over 1,000 yards for the season. So.
True.
All right. Let's talk about 45 real quick.
About 45.
Yeah. So when we say 45 people, we mean the President of the United States. He had another rally last night in Alabama, I believe. And he basically stated that the NFL owners should fire them son of a bitches who protest the flag. They should fire them and get them out of there. So at this point, freedom of speech just don't exist at this point, apparently. It just don't, because he can say whatever the hell he want, offend who he want. All he did to me was bring more light on Cap and make him more of a martyr, because all Cap wants is equality and for us to stop getting shot. That's it.
Yeah, and it's not even – I mean, of course, most of it is about Cap because he, quote-unquote, started it.
Yeah.
He's the only one that has protested, kneeled, whatever, and who's still out of a job. But a lot of the other players who did it last year, like Malcolm Jenkins and what have you, they're still on teams and what have you. Yeah. And the owners and coaches some of them don't necessarily want them to go about protesting that way, but they are at least respecting their right to do it.
Right.
So, for this fucking clown to come out talking about people need to be fired and pull them off the field, son of a bitches and all this shit, I'm not surprised. Nothing at the point that he does should surprise you. I mean, he's not presidential. He's not professional. He doesn't carry himself like a president should. I don't care. None of the past 44 presidents I don't care whether you liked Obama, loved or liked Bush, whoever. None of them, we had to worry about them handling themselves in this manner, in this way. And that's a distinct difference. But that's what happened when you elect a reality star businessman as a fucking president.
That jackass said that people are not watching the NFL because they'd rather watch him.
I saw that. Now, truth be told, ratings, they do say that the ratings are down, but ratings were down as well last year, I think 8%.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of different factors going into it. I know each side, because I think a lot of people are missing, people are looking at ratings and things being down and saying, well, it's all because people were protesting for Cap. That's a part of it, but don't be fooled. Again, ratings were down last year as well.
Yeah.
Other factors that are contributing to it, yes, people protesting for Cap are one, but you also got to look at the other side, and there are also people on the other side protesting and not watching games because of the people that are kneeling. So, we have to take that into consideration. And then also one of the main things I think it is, ratings are down because of cord cutters. People don't have cable anymore. People are streaming, you know what I'm saying? And those things don't play a part in the ratings. So I don't think a lot of people realize that. They're thinking turning off their Fire Stick is affecting the bottom line. It's not. But not to harp on anybody's form of protest. Everybody protests the way that they want, but just understand what impact you may or may not be making, because it may not be what you think it is.
Yeah. Yeah. And the NFL is taking losses either way, outside of all of that you just said. The injuries, the concussions. Some people are stepping away because of that. You know, they're not showing support for the league with all of that stuff going on. They're looking at it as violent. And this is probably the least violent it's been that I can recall. But, that's just something else to take into consideration with it.
Yeah,
but
on top of that, you got, people not watching anymore because the fun being taken out of the game. No fun league.
There you go.
The quality of the play. You got a lot of old school cats that have been watching football, and they grew up watching it, run the ball to pass, and they don't like this all passing league.
Right.
So you got a lot of different things where these ratings have been going down slightly for quite some time. It is what it is. But I think tomorrow,
oh yeah,
all NFL players, you got to. I think I've seen Diddy put out a video, but y'all got a chance tomorrow to show your support, to show your power, to show your influence. Of course, I'm not expecting everybody to do it, because you're gonna have some people that are scared or just don't want to do it. But I need to see at least 30-40% of people out there tomorrow take a stand, kneel, fist up, sit, do whatever you're going to do. But don't let this motherfucker tell you or come out and say what he said today or this morning, and you stand around and don't, you know what I'm saying? You stand tomorrow and don't do anything.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be epic as far as the number of protests tomorrow.
Right.
I really believe that. So
at the end of the day, people of color make up 80-90% of these rosters. And if you don't have them, you don't have a game, you don't have money, nobody make any money. So
bingo.
There you go.
All right, let's tie it up. I think we're done with football for the week. We'll be back on our regular scheduled football talk next Tuesday, but we're gonna jump on a little bit of basketball. Melo finally got traded. The Free Melo movement has come to an end. He is going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yeah,
I'm not necessarily clapping because he's going to Oklahoma City, but clapping because he finally came to his senses and got the hell out of there.
You know what? I think this finally came to a situation to where somebody had to sit him down like, cuz they're not taking Ryan Anderson. They're not. So either you're going to go somewhere and win, or you're going to go to media day on Monday and look like a jackass.
Pretty much, because they had, from my understanding, they took him and his name, his image, and everything out of all of the new media guys and stuff for the upcoming season. So
he was dead man walking, just walking around there dead. They ain't talking about him. He's on the team, but
right.
He's not. Hell, I heard Hornacek came out and said, of course Melo's gonna start. Man, look, last chance, cuz this is last chance. So he got to share the ball. He got to be Olympic Melo. This is the last chance, really, for him. I ain't gonna say for Russ, but if Russ can't get this right, if he can't get this right with this type of help,
See, for me, I'm not. Well, I think Russ only like what 27.
Yeah, but they looked at him away because we got to talk about Durant too. They looked at him away in regards to he ran Kevin Durant off, and we know that not to be true.
Right.
But for him to you lose Kevin Durant last summer, and the next damn summer you got Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, and you basically lost Victor Oladipo, Sabonis, Enes Kanter, McBuckets, and a second-round pick.
Now, I mean, on paper it looks good.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know how that mix is gonna work, honestly.
Melo got to go to the corner, play Olympic Melo.
Because you got Paul George, Russell, and Melo, but they all ball dominant. They all need the ball.
You know what I want to see this year from Russell? I want to see 22 points, 12 assists.
He did that last year.
I'm talking about 12 assists that matter. I ain't talking about getting 8 of them in the first quarter. And I'm shooting the rest of the damn game. You know how that shit play. Hey. Now, I want them 12 to matter. Hell, he can average 15 assists a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he's gonna have guys this year that he trusts a little bit more. So it's gonna at the same time I'm wondering about the chemistry, but at the same time it's gonna put pressure on defenses because you can put Melo on this wing, put Paul George on this wing, and you can't help off either one of them. And so Russell can do his thing. Steven Adams not gonna be calling for the ball that much.
That's just boards.
Yeah.
They brought in Patrick Peterson, and as far as with Melo, hell, I would play Melo. I'd start him, of course, but I'd get the rest of them rest and let him eat with the second team. Let the second team offense run straight through him. Right. As far as because that's what the problem was last year. Remember, every time Russ went to the bench,
right,
he couldn't score. Right. You shouldn't have that problem at this point. You shouldn't have that problem.
Now, did Oklahoma City really do anything to their depth?
They picked up they got Raymond Felton. I like that pickup. They heard they signed Trey Burke as well. So they needed backup point guards. I'm trying to think who their wings are.
I was going to ask, are they going to move self-check to the bench?
I think they're going to start him as small forward. They're starting Melo as a small ball 4.
So Russ, self-check, Paul George, Melo, and not Cantor, but Adams.
Yeah. I mean, and you forget Paul George is 6'9".
I mean, one good thing about that is they're going to be able to switch a lot of things on defense.
Yep.
So, you see a lot of teams going to that smaller 4 because teams like Golden State, you got to be able to switch. So
I put them top 3 in the West. I want to say second as far as you look at the rosters.
So
I like that team better than Houston.
I was going to say who you moving out, San Antonio or Houston?
They're better than San Antonio at this point to me. Unless LaMarcus Aldridge goes back 3 years and gets some heart, Kawhi can't do it by himself.
No, that's true. You're right. So that's definitely the top 4 in the West right there. So
hell, I mean, okay, but then you got Minnesota right on the outside. And I like that. Boy, I tell you, it's gonna be hard as hell to make the All-Star team in the West. God, it's gonna be hard to make that All-Star team.
Yeah, especially if you're not a superstar. Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
It's deep. But that move right there, you should move some teams. They should do some reshuffling, move some teams. And Minnesota and maybe Memphis should be in the East to balance that mess out. But if LeBron goes West like they saying he is, Jesus, that's another.
The only problem about moving those 2 teams is then you have an unbalanced conference.
Well, let me think. Yeah,
you split right down the middle right now, 16 and 16. So
you'd have to move 2 over.
Right. But one thing, I'm glad you brought that up because I heard this week, I don't know if you heard it or not too, they talking about expansion.
Seattle needs a team, though.
They need to take one of these bum teams, though. Because I'm thinking in terms of expansion, adding another team.
Nah.
We need to be removing teams. We don't need to be adding teams.
We need to be removing teams, 100.
Yeah.
They move New Orleans up to Seattle. They don't need a team in New Orleans. They're never going to be good. The fan base ain't there. Well, you know what? They ain't got to worry about that because Boogie going to leave this summer, and the Brow going to leave in, 2 years? He can probably get out 2, maybe 3.
Brow going to be sitting his ass right there. Watch.
if I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. He will not be the new Kevin Garnett. I rebuke it.
Watch.
All right, last let's finish up with this. Kevin Durant.
Cupcake.
You take that one.
All right, so as y'all already know, of course, we know we coming in late in the week, but y'all already know we giving our 2 cents on it. Shout out to Glass. But as y'all know, Kevin Durant got found out this week. Multiple Twitter accounts on Twitter defending himself against fans talking shit about him. Now, he came right on out and say, I was an idiot, I was stupid, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you was all of that and then some, dog. That's like some lame, soft-ass shit.
This is a different generation.
It is.
I was tweeting about the shit the other day. Kevin Durant's a legit $300 million in. Easily. You got a legit argument for being the best player in the world right now. Legit argument. I don't think he's better than LeBron, but some people may argue that.
Right.
You just won a title. Why are you worrying about these trolls? Why?
Because he feel bad about how he left.
He does.
You know what I'm saying? And that was his way to try to get it out, but he ended up making himself look even more like a sucker.
Suckerific.
Like what Billy Donovan ever done to you? Y'all was up. What you mean you didn't have the horses or the team to win? Y'all was up 3-1.
Game 6, he didn't show up.
You had the horses to win the first 3 rounds and to go up 3-1 in the conference finals. You had the horses then. It wasn't about players or horses. Yeah, I don't think their team was as good. But when you up 3-1, you got to close that out. So that speaks to me more about your heart for closing that game out, especially the way you played Game 6 than anything else.
At the end of the day, you got your ring, man. You certified. I mean, some folks still gonna whisper you a sucker, but they ain't gonna say it to your face.
Exactly.
They ain't gonna
exactly. Why are you worried about Twitter people?
Hey, I felt like he was a sucker all day long for leaving, but I couldn't knock him for doing it. And the way he busted ass in that final, hey man, I can't say another word about it. You certified.
The way he busted LeBron ass in that final, he didn't have to say, like you say, he didn't have to say shit.
Nothing.
Season, and people would have forgot about it. It would have been gone by their business. Just like when LeBron left and went to Miami, they was on his ass after they lost that first year, yeah. But after they won that first title, the narrative changed.
What can you say?
What can you say?
And at this point, you got a chance to win maybe in the next 3 out of 4. Easily.
Yeah, exactly.
Just move different, young man.
Why are you engaging people online in that manner? I don't know. Move
different, young man. Take it from us. All right, my final topic of the night. Kyrie Irving. I was tied up with the work stuff this week, but man, that cat right there. I should have told you ahead of time to pull up trustworthy Kyrie with the beard, and this other cat, the non-Kyrie, the untrustworthy Kyrie. Did he not look shady as hell on that show, man?
He was a defiant little somebody on that show, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? Oh my! You know what? The disrespect shown to LeBron, and all I keep harping back to was when they lost the finals, and he was like, "Man, I would never want to go to war with anybody else but him. That's my brother." Stop. That's shady as hell, man. If you ain't really like that cat, man, don't smile on his face. Yeah, I can go to work, be coworkers. I've had a lot of coworkers I ain't care for. They ain't know, because I went to work, sucked, kept it moving. I ain't act like we had to be the best of friends. I ain't kissed their ass or nothing like that. But he just seemed real untrustworthy at this point to me.
And that's the part that makes him look bad. Because, in some regard, I kind of like his interview. I did, I'm kind of defiant at times. I kind of like when people go against the grain. Yeah, he didn't really owe LeBron an explanation. It would have been nice if he would have spoke to him, but he didn't have to. So I agree with him in that regard, but how he contradicted himself constantly in some of those answers, how he was, the way that he was talking to Max and Stephen A, like he didn't know what they meant by, I don't know what second fiddle or second tier means. Come on, dude, stop playing.
Very dismissive. Very dismissive. And I get what you're saying in regards to that, but that's kind of like, that's like if me and you were on the same team. Mm-hmm. And you didn't tell me. And I believe that's what they said They said Wade didn't know when LeBron left, but I don't believe that. I can't believe they are that tight and he didn't tell him.
No, I'm not buying that. I think that's more. I think that's more rumor mill than anything because of the the $10 million and all of that.
But if I'm LeBron and I looked at Melo going out there, and of course, that whole OKC situation, people, Sam Presti, rolling the dice. That's all he was doing, rolling the dice. Because Russell, Paul, and Carmelo can leave this summer. All three of them. You'll have a whole lot of cap space, but you're going to have to sell a whole lot of cats on playing in Oklahoma. If all
Melo got a player option for his final year? Because I know he got 2. Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 years left, but he can get out this summer.
Gotcha.
Now, we are talking about Melo, and he does love his money. So we're going to see.
Yeah, you're right. We'll see.
We'll see.
I think once Melo gets the taste of winning, which he should do a lot of this year, he'll probably do more winning this year than he's done since the last Denver team he was on that made the playoffs. Maybe that'll change his tune about the money. But going back to Kyrie, another thing that kind of pissed me off about that situation, he called First Take. He called Stephen A. and them to come on the show. They didn't invite him. They called him. So for you to call them to come on the show, that means you ready to come and lay it all out on the table. And I've never liked Will Kane a day in my life. I hate him.
He was right this week, though.
He spoke truth this week. Kyrie came up there. What did he say? He shoveled a pile of shit on the table and expected for y'all to decipher through it. That's exactly what he did. You
know what, people? I'm not against people having idols and big homies. I ain't against that. But Kyrie, man, should we start calling him Young Kobe? Because this sounds like an interview from like 10, 11 years ago. Was it that long ago with Shaq and Kobe? It might have been longer than that.
Probably about 15.
Okay, so it sounds like one of them interviews. And again, like you said, people got the right to do whatever the hell they want to do. If he wanted out, he got out into a winning situation. But you ain't got to shit on folks out the door.
Right.
You ain't got to.
Because they blessed you, young man, sending you to Boston.
Right. I would have sent your ass to Memphis.
I would have sent his ass to Siberia.
Somewhere.
But at the same token, they were never going to get the value from him trading to anybody else other than Boston. We said that from day one.
Yeah.
We just didn't think Boston would actually do a deal with Boston, but they did.
Y'all really got to start listening to us because we said that shit. We said it early on.
So now, all the talking is done. Training camp starting next week. You're going to have to see them. You're going to have to see them boys. And the boys you got in Boston, they got some good players there. But outside of Marcus Smart,
they ain't got no dogs.
They ain't got no dogs. If you ain't got no dogs, and then, oh my God, and then you let 2 of the dogs from that team go play with LeBron and got chips on their shoulder. And also on that Morris boy, he probably gonna be suspended the first couple games. Cause they on trial right now. They on trial. Remember they beat that dude up in Phoenix? Got assault charge? Okay. And a couple of their homies already done pleaded guilty. They was all in it together. Okay. I forgot about that story. Okay. They gonna be suspended. But last thing on that situation. Last thing. Looking at them lineups right now, and that's with Isaiah Thomas not playing. I still think Cleveland got a better lineup right now than Boston. They're deeper. Right. They're deeper. Way deeper. Yeah. Kyrie don't play no defense. Derrick Rose is gonna bust his ass game 1. He don't play no defense. He don't. And he's sitting up there talking like, I wanted to go to an environment where my skills can be, groomed or whatever. Say word. Okay. We gonna see. And I said it on Twitter this week. This is gonna be LeBron James' best season in a long time. And it's hard to say that because he's an automatic 28, 8-8. But I think that animal's coming out this year. And and that's always kind of been the thing with LeBron. Thing that frustrates me about him sometimes is like it's almost like the Hulk, David Banner and the Hulk. Yeah. David Banner can beat your ass if he get you got to get him. You got to get him mad enough first. Right. Instead of like a Kobe right out the gate. I'm here to bust your ass. So I think LeBron is going to be a little motivated this year. He may be more motivated to beat Boston than he is to beat Golden State. Man, I can't. I said I wasn't going to pay the NBA no attention until Christmas Day.
I'm gonna watch a couple games this year.
Oh yeah, because we got a couple of opening night games really interesting. You know, the Boston, Cleveland, and
OKC in New York
OKC in New York. Yeah, so
can't wait.
got
Can't
some
wait.
interesting stuff.
All right, let's get on up out of here. Did Triple G fight last weekend?
No, wait a minute. Yeah, it was last weekend. Yeah, it was last week.
Real quick, analyst. You the boxing guy. What'd you think? Who won?
Oh, Triple G definitely won that fight. Now it was close. Don't get me wrong. I had him up by at least 3 to 4 rounds. Now, mind you, I'm in and I tweeted it because I was in a club watching it on my phone on Periscope, and I could tell that fight wasn't no damn draw. So I don't know who that lady is, that judge that ruled that scored the fight like 119 to 110 or 118 to 10, which is basically saying she said Canelo was 8 or 9 rounds better than Triple G. Really? What fucking fight were you watching? It was, middle rounds dominated by Triple G. No matter what Canelo threw at him, he just kept walking forward. And that's always been Triple G thing, and he was just he put more pressure on Canelo. Now, a couple of the later rounds, Canelo was, fighting back. He actually won a couple of later rounds to me, which closed the gap, made it more close than what it could have been. But I think Triple G won that fight at least by 3 or 4 points, 3 or 4 rounds, easy. But this is boxing. So, it's always some bullshit sometimes. And all you got to do is follow the money, follow the paper trail, and it all leads back to another fight, another rematch somewhere down the road for more money. Now, they got to do it within 6 months or so. They can't wait another year or so.
Right.
He already like 35, 36. If they wait too long, then I can see Canelo closing that gap.
So January, you think?
No, not that soon. Not that soon.
I'm sorry, it's September now.
Yeah, not that soon. I'm thinking Cinco de Mayo.
Damn, that far?
I'm saying 6 months, but it's October pretty much right now, and Cinco de Mayo is a big fight weekend. Because Floyd used to have that date on lock for the last 6-7 years.
Yeah.
That's it's a big Mexican holiday or what have you. Canelo being not one of the biggest Mexican fighter out there right now. I can see that being a target date. But if they want to get it on a little earlier, maybe March at the earliest, maybe April. But I'm gonna say May. I'm gonna say Cinco de Mayo weekend. But we're definitely gonna see that run back. We got to see that run back.
That's what's up. Let's get on up out of here. Good show.
Absolutely. So don't forget, people. We got an early game tomorrow. London. Is it Ravens and the Jags, I believe?
Ravens and the Jaguars. Over under 3 interceptions by Blake Bortles.
I'm going to go under at 2.
Okay.
I'm going to go 2 picks and a fumble. But, I definitely got the Ravens coming out of that thing with a win. So we should have an interesting day of football tomorrow. Again, I'm looking for these players to see what they're going to do. So tell them where to reach you at on social media, Hey.
At RK6000. Holla at me. I talk sports.
There you go. You can find myself at Diego Barich on Twitter. And again, don't forget to watch, like, subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Also, thank y'all for joining in with us on the Spreaker platform. Sometimes we forget. I'm not gonna say we forget about y'all, but we do visuals on YouTube, and sometimes we forget to explain them for the listeners on Spreaker. So, easy pick. Just listen and watch. Just all you gotta do. Just do both. And so we will be back with y'all again on Tuesday. We're gonna catch the rest of these college games, and we appreciate the love, man. The AA Sports STFU Fantasy League is going good. A lot of trash talking going on in that league. Me and you got a head-to-head this week. Shout out to Rory and Kane. They've been at it all damn week.
Eric, you need to win, Ice Cold.
Yeah, y'all better not put up 50 points apiece after all that shit y'all been talking all week. And I'm going to get with you because I've been scoping out what the prize going to be for the win at the end of the year.
That's what's up. We got to do something.
Yeah,
work.
We got some ideas. So,
hey, shout out to you, Team Davis. Appreciate that, homie.
Yeah. Worst trade ever. Lamar Miller for Jordy Nelson. Dude, what you thinking? What you thinking? That's not an even trade. Lamar Miller and his job is getting ready to get taken.
Exactly.
Dummy. Hey, AA Sports, baby. Straight sports, no chaser. Uncle Hate, Diego Barris. I'll let y'all next week, man. Peace, be easy.